New York City, good morning. We're going to take you here for the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange in about 7 minutes. That's when that opening bell will ring and we'll get an idea of how the stock markets are looking. I can tell you that pre-market trading not looking so hot. As you can see, the top of our board is all red. That would indicate that the Dow S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are all down slightly, but still down. Again, we'll take you to the New York Stock Exchange for the opening bell here in just a little bit, and hopefully by then things will have turned around at least a little bit. Now, let's get you over to David. David, good morning. I'm still caught on last night. Yeah, I'm still like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? Too funny. Love you, brother.
You too, my friend. Love you too. And I got to tell you, you never know what to expect on this show. That is for dang sure. All right. All right, time now for our daily dose of dollars and common sense. We've got American Sunrise Early Edition host, the guy behind Jake's Takes Substack, the guy who loves the 1 in 7 Jets. That would be Jake Novak. Jake, good to see you. So you followed those arguments at the Supreme Court yesterday over President Trump's tariff authority. So what do you think? What does Wall Street think about how the decision might go? What do you think? I just want to know your thoughts, Jake. I want to get inside your mind. Righty, go.
Yeah, well, the first thing in my mind is my reaction to Nancy Pelosi retiring is I'm shorting my investments in Super Polygrip.
Right.
This is the worst. I mean, for a woman who's worth almost $1 billion to have such bad dentures and have them sliding around in her mouth when she does interviews. I mean, honestly,
she always like this.
Super Polygrip has lost its most noticeable customer. I'm sorry, but. Yeah. It sounds mean, but if you are a wealthy person in America and you have such bad teeth, you have a mental illness, probably a control freak issue. But anyway, my thoughts are the Supreme Court, if I had a bet, is going to restrict, at least in some way, President Trump's tariff powers. And Wall Street's looking at this very closely. Now, Wall Street quietly will cheer this, but they're also worried about the mess that this will cause. Will a bunch of companies ask for refunds if there's some kind of tariff overturn? Will that just throw a wrench in the companies doing what they need to do and moving forward? So they're just not sure what to do yet about all of this. I'd be surprised if there isn't some restriction in some way on the tariffs coming out of the Supreme Court after what I heard yesterday. And Wall Street, again, probably just going to tread water on it, but they'd probably rather just see things move smoothly one way or the other. And that's not going to happen if the tariffs just don't stay in place as they are.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, that UPS jet crash, I mean, it's so tragic because obviously the lives lost in Kentucky, I believe it's up to 12, it might be more now. But the crash is yet another bad effect for Ford's already beleaguered supply chain. There is a connection here. Explain, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, Ford has just had all this bad news. First, the aluminum plant fire in Oswego, New York last month that's really slowed down production of their best models. Now, this explosion. You don't have to be a scientist to understand that this explosion right next to your assembly plant, really close to the site of this explosion, would disrupt production there. And it certainly has. The Louisville assembly plant, the LAP as they call it, that's where they make the Ford Escape. And it had to shut down a couple of days. It's still sort of not really running fully. And this isn't good news for Ford. Ford Escape is a really popular model of theirs. They just can't get a break when it comes to supply chain stuff. But of course, our first concern is with the safety and also finding out what the heck happened here. This is an old jet that was just recently got maintenance in September, apparently. We might have a problem here with our cargo jets in the sky. So that's, of course, our first concern. But I'm sorry for Ford and their production disruption here.
Yeah, we're going to monitor that for sure. I'm sure you will. All right. So, Jake, in recent days, we've talked about Chipotle, Pizza Hut. I'm getting fat just thinking about it. Yeah. Now it's time for McDonald's. So what do you think? I mean, do the Golden Arches have better news for us? Are they loving it, if you will, or what?
Yeah, I know. Listen, let's just both admit that we've given up on healthy eating on this program for the last few days. It's all been about fast
Correct.
food. Yeah, McDonald's has better news. They had same-store sales that increased by almost 4%. Wall Street cheered that. So McDonald's bucking the trend now for the rest of the fast food world. Although I would say Taco Bell and KFC are also doing well, but they're part of a larger company. McDonald's is doing well. Now, here's the issue. They're not getting enough profits yet out of those extra people coming into the store. They got to work on that. or the restaurant, I should say. Of course, here's my hot tip for them, and they know this already, but I'll say it to everyone here. They're making a much bigger profit off of those people who go to the drive-thru. Most people still don't want to be caught inside a McDonald's, especially in some fancier neighborhoods, so they'd use the drive-thru, and the drive-thru is much more profitable. There's no table to clean up after. There's no floor to mop up after when you do the drive-thru. So if I were them, if they're listening to me, I would offer a slightly bigger discount to drive-thru customers, and I think that will increase their profits. But of course, I'm not going to get any of those profits, so I don't know what I'm doing free work for McDonald's for. Whatever. Maybe give me some free fries.
Yeah. By the way, on Nancy Pelosi, you know who the most depressed people are the ones that follow her stock picks. Because if she's out of Congress, they're going to be like, crap. Now what am I going to do? All right, Jake Novak, great to see you, sir. We'll have to talk. We should talk more about Nancy and her stocks situation, maybe tomorrow or this next week. All right, thanks, Jake. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Okay.
All right, we're heading back to Terrence in Denver. He's got the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange, and it is sponsored, if I'm not mistaken, by A.M.A.C.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. A.M.A.C. is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
Well, no, David, you are not mistaken. This news break is sponsored by A.M.A.C., as you said. The applause is underway at the New York Stock Exchange, which means we are just moments away from the bell ringing there. Here you go. The applause is underway, and the bell is going to ring here in short order. We showed you pre-market trading. Our board wasn't looking so hot. The Dow S&P 500 and the Nasdaq were all in the red during pre-market trading. Now that the markets are officially open, let's check to see how things are looking right now. And it looks like the Dow and S&P 500 are still down. The Nasdaq is up, and the only other blemish on our screen at the moment is crude oil. So hopefully all of this will change. Well, as you just saw, the Nasdaq actually just went down to the red as well. So up and down day already in trading. It's likely going to be that way for much of the day, but we'll continue to monitor it for you. The tax extension deadline may have passed, but for millions of Americans, the real trouble is just now beginning. If you happen to miss the October 15th deadline, or if you owe back taxes, the IRS is ramping up enforcement. Every day that you wait only makes things worse. Here's the harsh reality, though. The IRS can charge a penalty of 5% per month up to 25% of your total tax bill just for not filing. That's in addition to what you already owe. There is good news, though. There's still time for the Tax Network USA folks to help you out. Self-employed or a business owner, even if your books are a mess, they've got you covered. Tax Network USA specializes in resolving financial chaos and getting you back on track fast. With tools like property seizures, bank levies, and wage garnishments, the IRS is applying pressure at levels that we haven't seen in years. Again, the good news is that it's not too late to regain control. Your consultation is 100% free, and in one short phone call and a few simple questions, the experts over at Tax Network USA can determine how much you can save. Call 800-905-8000 or visit tnusa.com/RAV. Let Tax Network USA help before the IRS makes the next move. Time to take a quick break. When we come back here on American Sunrise, we'll explore the impact and the legacy left behind by former Vice President Dick Cheney, both on the conservative movement and the country as a whole. We'll talk all about it and the good and the bad when American Sunrise returns.